Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Do you love the floral print background? Anyway, I dreamed yesterday, and I'm one of those people who doesn't dream often, so when I dream, it sort of is like a big thing. At least I don't remember them often, but I remembered this one because I felt so good. In my dream, I was with this beautiful chocolate African man, and we were together, and we were just chilling on his couch, and we were just like watching TV or whatever. Like not necessarily all like up on top of each other, but we were both on the same couch, and we were together in my dreams. Um, but one thing that I remember, which was very interesting about the dream, is throughout the course of our time chilling together on the couch, just watching TV or whatever, a number of friends of the couple, our friends, were like, it's okay that you all are together and it's okay that you all are a couple, but you just can't be all up on each other like that. You just can't be all up, you can't just be all out in the open with it. And this is a really interesting thing for me because, one, I'll tell you where I think it came from. Because when I do dream, I try to like analyze what my thinking has been about that would lead me to dream about whatever I dream about. And in this particular case, I know, okay, so one, it's common knowledge how much I love a deep dark chocolate man. I do. But two, I think what's also on my mind is how in a lot of places in Africa, they are not accepting of same gender loving people quite the way that we are slowly becoming accepting of same gender loving people here. I don't think that they are quite as far behind as people like to project. So as it relates to that in Africa, I know that there are a number of same gender loving people in Africa. And I know that like I've seen videos where young like college age kids talk about their opinions on homosexuality, and it's not as close minded as people would like to think it is. It is kind of close minded in some cases, but in a lot of cases, I was pleasantly surprised to see the college kids were like, no, I don't understand why, as a country, people are so anti same gender loving. I think that we should be more open minded. And I think that that gives me hope for the future of Africa as it relates to same gender loving people. And also, there were a number of people who were like, this is a Christian country. Pump your brakes. They're like, this is a Christian country, and homosexuality doesn't belong in a Christian country. I don't think people understand that. Like, we love to get so up in arms with Africa and like places that have like the kill the gays bill. I don't remember what country had the kill the gays bill, but we want to get all up in arms with Africa and the countries that have that. But you don't realize it's because we brought Christianity to them, and that's the kind of Christianity that we brought to them. Anyway, but so also I saw a friend of mine who I follow on Instagram who posted an Instagram photo. He's Ghanaian. So he posted a photo on his Instagram talking about progressives in Ghana or something. And they were having like a meeting at to discuss, progressive ideals and bringing them to Ghana. And one of the things that they named the church where it was going to be. So what I did was I was like, well, just out of curiosity, let me look up the church just to see, sort of get an idea what the church believes, because chances are where they're going to have the meeting is where a place that is also a place that shares their same ideals. So I looked up the church, and sure enough, it's a same gender loving affirming church. So that tells me it's like And I looked that up yesterday, so I think that's why this dream was on my mind overnight. But I was like, that's interesting because I wonder if maybe this is like a group of people who are trying to bring these progressive ideals to Ghana and be more open minded to people of different sexualities and stuff like that. It's my understanding, honestly, of the West African countries, Ghana is a country also that has no Ebola at all. So when people talk about like West Africa Ebola, pump your brakes on that. Very few the vast majority of the countries in Western Africa have no Ebola at all. But we love to like freak out about stuff. But anyway, so yeah, it was talking about that, and I was looking at the church ideals, and I was like, okay, so this might be, and I might try to listen in because they have a dial-in number, and I'm kind of curious to hear what they have to say about it. But it looks like they're trying to bring such progressive ideals to Ghana, and it's my understanding of a number of the West African countries, Ghana is one of the more liberal of them, the more progressive of them. And that's cool, especially considering, as I've already said in the past, that I think that might be an area where my roots lie. Because it's my understanding, like one of my family members, as it relates to slavery, he was brought from Guyana in South America to America to be a slave, coincidentally at the end of slavery, so he was set free within his lifetime. But, you know, the whole 12 years a slave and kidnapping somebody and making them a slave, or kidnapping somebody and then being a slave was like real. People used to kidnap slaves. They was property, you know, and that's what they did to him, kidnapped him from Guyana and brought him to America to be a slave, but he was set free. And it's also my understanding that like his slave masters were treated him well, I guess, as well as one can treat a slave. And like at the end of slavery, when they let him go free, they like helped him out with some things and stuff like that. But anyway, that's another story. But anyway, so he is from Guyana, and it's my understanding the majority of people, the black people in Guyana, actually came to Guyana and were brought to Guyana as slaves because Guyana, as I did not know, was one of the major stops on the transatlantic slave route. And the vast majority of the people who were brought to Guyana on the transatlantic slave route are actually from specifically the place today known as Ghana, and they are majority a part of the Akan tribe. And that's why I posted that photo of myself on Instagram with a few other people who are descendants of the Akan tribe. Idris Elba, the Boris Kojo, Idris Elba, Boris Kojo, and the man who was like the first black head of the United Nations, all from the Akan tribe. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, all of that to say, I think those things were just on my mind. So because of that, I dreamt about it. And also the fact that I'm nearing the end of my 4 week challenge. So when I can allow myself to start dating. And that's also been on my mind heavy. Just the fact that I'm about to be able to start dating, y'all. And I can see myself with like some beautiful, fine, deep chocolate man, especially like, I mean, like he could be real gorgeous with like them deep African accents or whatever. Like, honestly, I love any African dialect. If you want to turn me on, turn me. I don't remember how it goes. Sorry, the Nicki Minaj, David Guetta song. Turn me on. I don't know. If you want to turn me on, you can talk like that, and that works for me very much. Just talk, and I'm doing the dialect, even though it's not. I'm doing a horrible job, but it just turns me on so much. It does. To hear the deep voice and the deep dark chocolate skin. And I would love to actually match as well, like with the mental stuff, mentally, physically, and spiritually. I'd love that match as well. But that would be cool. I also remember the fact that he was wearing socks in the video. I already talked about me. I already did the video about I might be a little bit of a freak. I don't think well, I did notice the fact that he had socks on, and I think ankle socks really turn me on a guy. I love a guy to wear ankle socks, especially. And this is random. Ankle socks and boots. Ankle socks and boots and shorts. Just get out of here. Ankle socks and boots and shorts and a deep dark chocolate man with an African accent. Anyway, I think that was about it. I dreamt. Perhaps it's telling me something. Maybe the man for me is going to manifest as such. And I think also that was the fact that how would our friends respond? And I think that a lot of the that's something else that's been on my mind as far as how people would respond and stuff like that to the fact that I'm becoming even more open with my sexuality than I was before. Because if we make it a big deal, that's what makes it a big deal. The fact that we jump through flaming hoops to hide it, and the fact that we make a big deal about it is what makes it a big deal. So if you just present it like it's not a big deal, and it just is what it is, then it's not a big deal, and it just is what it is. Now, if you live at home with your parents, and they're the type of parents who will beat your ass and kick you out of the house for being gay because they don't want none of that under their roof, I'm not saying rush out, because if you don't make a big deal about it, they won't make a big deal about it because they might. Some parents are great parents, though, and they won't do that. Like, I know for myself, my mom was ready for me to come out before I was even ready to come out myself. But I consider that as a blessing for myself. But I've heard too many stories from too many people where their parents find out, like not even they told their parents, but their parents find out and they try to beat the gay out of them and then kick them out of the house. Be smart. You know your parents best. Talk to y'all later, YouTube. Peace. Be blessed.